Hey, welcome back to Ask Radrack. Got some questions for you today. If you have questions for me, put them below either in the comments or there's a link to my Instagram or Twitter that you can go to and ask me there as well. I've been having a little trouble keeping up lately, so if I missed your question, just ask it again and I'll hopefully see it this time. So the first one is from Harrison Shannon, who asked the proper way to do a pop shove it in a tray flip. And he's talking about the front foot catch. So I know I've talked about this a little bit before, and it comes down to a style thing, but for you and your argument with your friends, you should catch those front footed. That's the way that the trick works. Like a 360 flip, you scoop with this foot and it's way out here and then your front foot catches it when it comes back. That's just kind of naturally what happens. The problem is when people try to put on a style. So I've talked about style before, check that right there. And basically it's more about the way that you naturally would do something versus trying to emulate someone else. So I remember when Cody McIntyre first started doing that really weird, you mentioned this too, those really weird tray flip and you catch it way out like that. That was kind of cool because it wasn't a thing yet. It was just the way he did them. And it was kind of cool, but then when everyone started trying to do it too, it became a contest to see who could be the most split-legged when they caught it. That's when it kind of became uncool. But the actual mechanics of it, catching with your front foot, that makes sense, and there's nothing wrong with that. For spinning tricks, for a straight kickflip, you usually catch it back-footed. But it's just, the problem isn't that style. The problem is forcing a style that doesn't come naturally. That's when it starts to look a little weird. My second question today is from Sci-Fi Toilet. It's a great username, who asks, can you give ideas or predictions for future board shapes given current trick progression trajectory? I know I've talked about shapes a little bit, but basically what I think is going on is that it's going to be more of a have it your way kind of thing. Not to quote any fast food, but that's kind of how this generation is, like customized, tailored to yourself. You have your own unique experience, and I think that that's kind of going to be the next big thing. Now, what route that takes exactly, I'm not sure. There's, maybe a bunch of different brands all make their own boards that are completely different. I think the days of 10 different brands that make the exact same mold just with different graphics on it, I think that's going to come to an end. I think for a small company to really succeed, it's going to be their own unique thing that's only going to appeal to certain people. But everyone who that appeals to will buy it. So there's going to be some more room for some creativity. There's also brands like open source skateboards, and I've got nothing to do with those guys. I know there's a lot of YouTubers who are promoting them and sponsored by them and stuff. I'm not, I just heard about them. What you can do is you design your own boards. You tell it, their program, like exactly how much concave, how long of a tail, how long of a nose, the angles and all that stuff. And you can design a board that's exactly for you. I think that kind of thing is going to take off. There might be some competitors to that coming out too, and then I think that's going to be kind of a big thing. But I can imagine if you were a guy who is really into a certain trick. Let's say you're the no slide guy. You do no slides everywhere. You do them on ledges, on rails, you do whatever. It's your thing. You love them. It's your go-to trick. Do them all the time. Maybe for you, you'd want a really weird board where the nose is curved normally on this side, but then it's kind of blunted and corner on this side. And that way you have a little more heel room for when you're doing your slides. But this side's still rounded, so you can still kind of pop out of it and it doesn't get in the way. I don't know. Crazy idea. I'm sure none of you guys would want that board, but just a random idea. There's probably some people out there who would like that. And maybe the tail is kind of the opposite so that you could turn the board around and do front side the same way. Maybe there's a guy out there who wants that board. And I think that having a lot of these different choices is going to be the way that it goes. Now for me, I think most people my age, having a regular old popsicle board is completely fine, like 775 or so. For me, the ideal board would be perfectly symmetrical on both sides. And that way, you land a trick backwards, the board's backwards, doesn't matter, you just keep on going. And so that would be for me, but for other people, I think having more and more choices is the way it's gonna go. Right now, you're seeing more shaped boards, more stuff for pools, more freestyle boards, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's only going to continue to branch out into more and more specific subcategories. Well, that's my thoughts on that. If you got any more questions for next time, put them below and I will get to them as soon as I can. Until next time, here's some more videos I made recently you might want to check out. Also, you can tap my logo above to subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future. And thank you for watching.